By the end of May, the solitary chick in the east nest was active and growing. This is the only feeding I captured of the east chick, and one of the rare times in the early summer that I actually saw an adult in the east nest. And it wasn't for long. The west youngsters went from this in March to this by the end of May. The little east nestlings seemed to always be alone, and this raised a lot of questions for me. At one point after the chick was hatched, there were no longer two adults in the nest. Why? Was one of them killed by an alligator or hit by a passing car as it flew too low over the road? We'll never know. But it was clear that the single adult left was now a single parent, forced to make the decision to hunt for food rather than stay in the nest and protect its young. It made me think about single human parents and the hard decisions that they make. Down below on the lake bank, the morning feeding was pretty predictable and almost always in the same spot. As far as I could tell, both of the west parents were continuing their parental responsibilities. And, as we've seen before, sharing food was never an option. If one of them got to the food first, the other one would have to wait for the next delivery. Just below their empty nest, the west youngsters spent their time practice hunting and building the neck muscles they would need to become successful hunters. One was by the lake's edge and the other in the marshy shallows below their home tree. Watch for the alligator in the background, gliding in and trying to get closer. Above, as the early summer sun drove the temperature even higher, the little east heron was trying to stay cool in a nest that was completely exposed to the elements. The east chick seemed to be more and more alone and less cared for. But maybe I was wrong. After all, I wasn't watching 24/7. Maybe the adult was returning at night to protect the chick, or maybe it was just there more than I thought. I don't really know, but whenever I was watching, the little heron was by itself almost all the time. So this became the pattern for me. I would watch the east nestling sit by itself in the nest, or I would watch the bank for the west youngsters and their regular feeding. And then, on a warm Friday in June, I captured a feeding that I will never forget. Wow. Just wow. A snake tug-of-war between two great blue herons? It just kept getting better and better. And although these two would go their separate ways, I still had the east chick to watch. And maybe I would be successful and catch it in its first flight. I'll never really know what happened to the little heron in the east nest, but sometime in mid-June it disappeared completely, leaving behind only a few feathers and its ever-present dragonfly companions. The little east heron may have been taken by an owl during the night or something else during the day. Maybe it fell out of the nest. Maybe it was abandoned and died of starvation. And what about the adult? Was it killed or did it just give up? We'll never really know. Earlier in this series, I learned that over 65% of all great blue herons don't survive their first year. Out of the 3 that I observed, 2 are left. Is that a higher than average success rate? Is it too early to tell? The young Wests would learn to hunt for themselves and would take their place in this little suburban ecosystem. With a little luck, they will fully mature. I can honestly tell you that these chance few months have changed me. I'm more aware of these fierce and elegant birds and the daily struggles they face, and I'm that much more sensitive to my own particular impact on their shrinking natural home. This is what the nests look like now. And you can see the differences between the two. The east nest, right up there, and the west nest, right over there. And I wanted to show you this so that you could get a sense of just how close to people, cars, passing boats, a playground, walking trails, and neighborhood streets that these nests are. It's amazing that these herons were able to hang around without being driven crazy. We've come to the end of my Great Blue Heron series. This is the last video. It's a non-ending end in a way. Although these nests are empty now, they may not stay that way. Next mating season, other herons may take them up, add to them, and build families of their own. And wouldn't it be cool if it was the same herons that grew up here? As I said, that's a few months away, but in the meantime, there's a lot of lake to explore.